Oh, mega caverns. This is cool. Little play area, rope area.
All right. Awesome.
Here.
We are going to get started here. Going down the hill, sometimes it is a little squeaky first thing with the brakes. As soon as that stops, I will go ahead and get started with that tour.
So they need to change the brakes. Safety third as we go into the hole underneath Louisville.
Under Louisville Zoo.
Is it technically?
Technically,
That's not really water.
If you pronounce it incorrectly.
Louisville?
So even though we are named after King Louis of France, we do not call our city Louisville. We also don't call it Louisville. Here locally,
That's a big
we
fan.
like to call it Louisville. And the way you get this pronunciation, I tell people you gotta say it kind of like you have a mouthful of marshmallows and you're trying to swallow them about halfway through. So you gotta remember. Want to go ahead and manage some expectations you guys may have for our cavern today. Unfortunately, you guys aren't going to be seeing any natural cave formations down here because unfortunately, we are not natural. However, one of our big things that we focus on down here is the fact that we don't have an ecosystem down here. You're not going to find any birds, bats, frogs, fish, reptiles, anything like that down here in our cavern. The biggest thing is actually the fact that we are deterring bats from coming down here with a lot of our lights, our noises, our tours, all the activity we have going on in our cavern. Not because we don't want them down here, but actually because of their own safety. So we have something here in our cavern that you guys may hear periodically throughout the tour, something called a reverb. This is my voice bouncing off the ceiling, pillars around us, coming back to us at the same tone. It's similar to an echo, but it's not exactly the same. The echo fades off into the distance. And this just means, since we don't have a true echo down here, that bats who use echolocation aren't able to navigate or find their way around. So they could get down here, get lost or injured. It doesn't happen very often, like I said, because we have all of our lights, our tours, all of our noise, and bats like dark, quiet places. But on the off chance that a bat does get down here and get stuck, we have a guy that we will call. He'll come out, capture them for us, release them back out into the wild.
Look at that disco chicken.
And we actually have him saved in our phone as Batman. I am going to jump out here and play you guys a quick video. This is going to be our owner, Jim, talking to you guys a little bit about his history with the cavern. Crushed stone. Mr. Rogers' big goal with starting his company was actually to get people back to work after the Great Depression. And so he actually had a partnership and a contract here in the mine with the State Highway Department. They were purchasing our limestone dust, so when they mined the limestone out of the cavern, they would take it out to the parking lot to a giant machine called a crusher, crush it up into limestone dust, and then they would sell that off to the State Highway Department. The State Highway Department would then take that limestone dust, mix it with cement to create concrete, and lay the foundations and pave the beginnings of a lot of our roads, highway systems, and then eventually our interstate and expressway systems in the area as well. So he continued to operate as an active mine here in the cavern clear up into the 70s, when unfortunately the state of Kentucky changed several of the laws regarding mining, and partners bought the cavern. They actually ended up purchasing the cavern for $2 million, so I like to say that they got it on sale. Water. We were part of a prehistoric ocean. So all the limestone that you guys see around us was formed from all the sand, sediment, plant life, organic material, and other things that settled down on the bottom of the ocean floor. So all these things would be compressed and compacted together so tightly that they would eventually turn into the limestone that we see around us. Because when you mine limestone, it tends to break off in chunks, sheets, and layers. Especially when you're talking layers, it tends to break off at those straw lines. So we actually did not do any specific flattening to our seal. So from mid-November to early January every year, year, we run our Christmas light show, and this is the only time of year that you guys are able to drive your own car through the cavern. Last year, we had roughly 9 million points of light, and you were able to drive roughly 2 miles through the cavern. I highly recommend come back and see us during this time if you're in the area. It's a pretty cool, unique experience. But if you guys do, I am going to give you a little pro tip. Amount of dynamite as well as holes in the rock. They would set off their explosion, and the idea was that they wanted chunks of rock about the size of those there in front of the screen. And this was because during a lot of the mining operations, we didn't have a lot of the modern technology, so we had to list it as an ingredient on your toothpaste as calcium carbonate. So here in Kentucky, we actually produce 95% of the world's bourbon. The other 5%, I personally like to say, is counterfeit. However, the government said, as long as it is made here in the U.S., it meets all the other criteria.
The Weller, I think, right?
We're doing terrible at ending videos because we're just having fun out here. Mega caverns. Caverns? Caverns. Yeah, yeah, we gotta come back. I gotta do a weight loss program so we can come back and do the zip line. That's really cool. So take a break from Bourbon, check out the mega caverns. So we did a random stop at the log still place, Monks Road Tavern, Speakeasy. Went downstairs for that. Ended up being able to get one of those bottles of Remington, their limited series. Remington Reserve is what it is. So now we're here at Stitzel Weller, and all the other reviews are absolutely correct. You gotta come through a sketchy neighborhood to get here. But now we're here, we're doing a tasting.
We're from Vegas, and we know all about those sketchy neighborhoods.
I grew up in a sketchy. I made it out of the slums.
I just want to make a comment about the place we just left. What you're doing.
Oh yeah.
So once you get to the Monks Road restaurant, there's an Italian steakhouse up top and a speakeasy down at the bottom. The bartender in the speakeasy was amazing.
Oh yeah.
They make a great smoky old fashioned using the different Monks Road products. And I got a chance to look at the menu. If you guys are in town, you gotta hit the steakhouse.
Yeah, it looks amazing. We'll try it out next time. But now, Stitzel Weller. Let's see. Hopefully we can film something here. If not, I'm just carrying my camera around. What?
I don't know what race it is.
I don't know what they said either. Oh, it's like a history. It's a self-guided tour. I'm not 100% sure it's supposed to be here, but it doesn't say do not enter. $800,000 cases annually. Oh, here's the... We're searching for the room. There's a... If you get the Blade and Bow bottles, you collect 5 of the keys, and then they'll come and engrave your name, and you come here and get it. Pretty cool. A lot of people need to come and visit when you become a member of the 5 Keys Club. I will see. I've never had this before, so we're here to try it, do a tasting. If I like it, maybe I'll do it. Maybe. Yeah, something that's cool little. We got here early, so they're letting us walk around. Bunch of history about I.W. Harper and how they make it. There's a big old horse in here. Made out of wood. The fun history of bourbon. Like it's two brothers, Stitzels. Weller was a retailer and stuff. That's who, you know, bottled it and did all this stuff. And Stitzel, it says here, used the warehouses. He designed the first ones, so on. And then Weller from Buffalo Trace is part of these brothers
Weller,
here.
Yeah, W. Weller and D. Weller now have a part of Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, and then what was this?
And then Pappy, this is where
Pappy Van
came
Winkle.
in.
But it's all Stitzel Weller. It's like all these places all over. They all are intertwined at some point, somewhere. Somebody married, got pissed off, and went somewhere else. So, oh look, Old Frontier whiskey. Yeah, so everybody's intertwined.
And then right here showing IW Harper in 2015 was brought back to the U.S.
Yeah, because it stopped in the 80s.
Yeah.
And it was only done in Japan. So yeah, history. So when I get confused at what's who and where and why, that's why. Got your shoe dirty, dang it. Dang it all the heck. So that tasting tour was just a tasting through history. It was cool. There's the tower when it got changed to Old Fitzgerald. The coolest thing about that is we learned a whole bunch about
Pappy Van Winkle
Pappy Van Winkle.
and Old Fitzgerald.
Yes.
And I got a cup engraved with the Bourbon bevel on it, not the logo, but Bourbon bevel.
Sweet. Without having to buy five bottles. So you can just have it done here, which is really cool. But yeah, they don't, we found out they still don't distill anything here. It's all somewhere else. But they are still selling stuff that was left in the warehouses from the freaking 90s.
90s,
If
yeah.
you can afford it. It was what, 900?
One was 900, one was 16.
Yeah. So I wanted to try that, but that's one pour cost more than I'm willing to pay for a bottle. So
Yeah, a pour of it was like $200.
yeah, I'm sure it's potentially worth it, but it's 22-year-old and 24-year-old stuff that's just left over, aging in the rick houses.
Yep.
Cool place to stop by though. Yeah, inner city traffic is so fun. We're at Whiskey Road. All kinds of stuff. O'Shea's, Goodwood, Old Forester. What else did I see on there? It's all kinds of stuff. We're going to dinner down there later on tonight. Troll Under the Bridge pub.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Meet some people that I work with. Be a good time.
Yes, sir.